there's a lot I want to say on the all-new A24 movie called Warfare that's in cinemas across the UK right now. So let's roll the opening titles and start talking about it. Hey, welcome back to the video, a brand new movie review. Today I'm talking all about the all-new A24 movie called Warfare. It's in cinemas across the UK right now. Before I start talking about it, as always, these are just my thoughts, so don't let this dictate whether or not you decide to go and see it. You might see it and feel totally differently to me, and that's okay because movies aren't made to cater for everyone. Without any further ado, let's start talking about it. And I actually didn't know that this was an A24 film. I would say until the day before, or even the morning of going to see this film, I had no idea it was an A24 movie, and I was actually a bit surprised because Death of a Unicorn, which is also an A24 movie, I feel like that didn't come out long enough for it to be another A24 movie. I feel like that's only just come out as well. So anyway, this is an A24 movie, which I'm very surprised about. And if you watch my movie review of Death of a Unicorn, I said it in that movie review, but you'll know that I'm always a bit on the fence with A24 films, just purely because they have their niche. When they make the movies, they have their audience, they have their niche, they have the kind of people that they make their films for, and I feel like I'm never in the niche. I'm just not in the A24 niche. I never really fit the vibe for these films. And so when I found out that this film was an A24 film, I must admit I was very surprised because this, correct me if I'm wrong, I could be totally wrong when I say this, but this to me feels like something very different compared to most A24 movies that they put out. I feel like most A24 movies are kind of mythical sort of films that aren't me, and this one I would say is more me. So I was very surprised to see this as an A24 film, and I'm not going to lie to you, I enjoyed this quite a lot, but I enjoyed it for different reasons than I normally enjoy movies. You know, normally I enjoy movies for just the normal reasons. I enjoyed this for a multitude of different reasons, and one of the big ones was the way that they portrayed this story. They portrayed this story in such an intense, such an intimate way, and I found it very unique. And I'm not going to lie to you, to begin with, I kind of thought, well, I'm not going to like this. But actually, I really did. I really liked the way that they told this story so intensely. And there was nothing else going on. Like, we didn't have sub-stories going on here and there, and we didn't have anything of like the opposing country and stuff like that, and the people that we're fighting. We didn't have any of that. It was literally just this group of people, and we followed them from start to finish, and I really, really enjoyed that. I thought it was a really nice way of portraying this true story, and obviously, like it says at the start of this film, this is a true story, but what's really unique and I think quite creative about this film is how integral the people that survived this and lived and breathed this event, how integral they were to this film, because this film is made purely on their memories. There's nothing added to it to make it better. There's nothing, if they couldn't remember it, it didn't go in. Everything that they remembered about this is the story. So this is based purely on memories, and I think that's so good, so creative, so unique, and I love the fact that people making this film didn't lose sight of that. They remembered and they made a point of making sure that this film is their memories, and they are the backbone to this film. And there's, at the end of the film, there's a really nice kind of moment of like almost celebration about these amazing people that did this, such incredible thing, and it's almost a celebration of them and what they've done, their story, and they're part of this really nice film. It's only about 90 minutes, which is really, really nice. But yeah, I really like the fact that they stayed true to these wonderful people that are ultimately the reason that this film got made. I have to say, more so the second half of the film, it's a very gory film, a lot of blood and guts. If you're not a fan of that, maybe it's not going to be a film for you, but it is literally blood and guts. Like, it's not just a few little bits here and there for a few seconds. Oh no, it's literally blood and guts from kind of the second half of the film, which if you don't like, you're probably not going to like this film. So yeah, very gory, very, very gory. But like I say, I loved this film a lot more than I thought I would. It gave me vibes of Civil War that came out last summer. I must admit, I wasn't overly a fan of Civil War, but it has the same sort of vibe to this film. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. My only kind of thing with this film is, I think because of the fact that it was based on people's memories, I think a lot of the memories there wasn't overly too many. I mean, again, I could be totally wrong, but this is just from somebody going to see this film and just enjoying it for what it is. But I do feel like they began to sort of drag out certain scenes, and they sort of felt like they were milking every little thing to kind of create this film, which is obviously 100% going to be the case if you're basing a film on only people's memories. And I think because of that, obviously you can't remember literally every single thing that happened in these events, so making a film based on memories is always going to be tricky, and I actually applaud A24 for doing this, because it's such a unique but really lovely way of making a film to celebrate these people, and I just, like I say, I think that's so nice. But I do think at times they were dragging out bits of the film just to kind of make it long enough for a film, if that makes sense. But I really liked it. I didn't realise that Kit Connor was in it. I kind of saw the start of the film and I was like, that looks like Kit Connor. And I was like, no, it can't be Kit Connor. And it was, and I was really surprised to see him. I didn't know he was in this film, and it's really nice to see Kit Connor do something different. I've not seen Kit Connor do anything other than like Heartstopper and him doing a bit of voice acting in The Wild Robot that came out last year, my favourite film of 2024. But yeah, I really enjoyed him in this. I thought he did an absolutely superb job, and it was nice to see him doing something a bit out of the ordinary, something that I've not seen him do before, which was really, really nice. So yeah, this was a great film. I really did enjoy this. I thought it had a lot of moments that should be applauded, and I have to say it is probably my favourite A24 movie that I've ever seen. And like I say, I've always said to you that I always sit on the fence with A24 movies, and I said one day I'll find an A24 movie that I really enjoy. I would think that A24 will hopefully produce like a film that I'll walk out going, that is the best A24 movie that I've ever seen. And this is that film at the moment. This is that film at the moment because I did really enjoy it, and I enjoyed what they did with this film. So at the moment, this is my favourite A24 movie that I've ever seen. Who knows? They might release another one. They might now start releasing loads of films that are for me. Who knows? Anyway, that's all I've got to say on Warfare in cinemas across the UK right now. As always, before I wrap up this movie review, what to rate it out of 10? Will it be joining my collection? Well, I'm going to give this film a 6 out of 10, just above half marks. Really enjoyed it. Nicely done. I think everything about this film should be applauded. I really enjoyed it. And will it be joining my collection? Probably not. Only because war films are sort of the films that I want to see at the cinema, but I never rewatch. I never rewatch a war film. And you know, because of that, I just don't think it will join my collection. That's the only reason why. That doesn't take away from the fact that I really enjoyed this film. Just because I don't want to own it doesn't mean that it takes away from any of the good points and the really good time that I had with this film in the cinema. So there you go. Like I say, Warfare in cinemas across the UK. As always, in the description down below is the plot, a link to the movie trailer, as well as a link to my movie review playlist. It features every single movie review that I've ever done. There's plenty more to come very soon as we leave April and begin a brand new month, May. Lots to come, including the new live action Lilo and Stitch, which I'm very excited about. That drops next month. You'll hear my thoughts on that when it comes out very soon. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in another video, and fingers crossed, another movie review very soon.